What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of the World of Sports podcast. I'm your host, Deegs. Big NFL news just dropped. Chiefs Pro Bowl quarterback Alex Smith is on his way to the Washington Redskins. Ian Rappaport just tweeted it. We don't know what the Redskins or the Chiefs are getting in return, or what the Redskins, for that matter, have given up. But we're going to talk about the Chiefs side, how this affects them, the Redskins side, how it affects them, and then kind of the whole NFL, how this trade will affect the NFL. So looking at the Chiefs side, it almost solidifies that thought that Patrick Mahomes, the rookie out of Texas A&M, will be the starting quarterback for the Chiefs next year. It makes sense. I really like Mahomes. I liked him coming out. I did think he was kind of he was drafted extremely early, but maybe he'll pan out. Very raw product, has a very good arm. You know, we saw him at the combine just absolutely launch that football very far. He's got some good weapons around him to complement his arm very well. You know, speedy receivers, Anthony Wilson, DeAnthony Thomas, Tyreek Hill, a dynamic pass-catching running back in Kareem Hunt in the backfield, and then, of course, one of the best tight ends of football in Travis Kelce. So I think Mahomes is going to have a ton of success, especially with that big arm that he has. He really didn't play a lot in 2017. We saw him come in that Denver Broncos game and actually have success. He was actually the first quarterback actually drafted by the Chiefs to make a start in that Week 17 game, so it'll be interesting to see how Mahomes does this year, but I do think he has enough offensive firepower around him to have success at the NFL level. Now moving on to kind of the bigger side of this, to the Washington Redskins. Obviously, this means that the Redskins are moving on from Kirk Cousins, you know, the quarterback that got them to the playoffs, kind of turned around their franchise since RG3 got hurt. Which is big news. Alex Smith, I like Alex Smith. He had his best season of his career probably by far last year, but I think you have to kind of expect regression because he's kind of older, and I don't think he'll have the weapons around him next year to have success. I do like Josh Doctson as a receiver, but if you look at what Kirk Cousins had to go through last year, the numbers he put up without having Jordan Reed, Terrell Pryor being a complete failure, he'll be gone. Jamison Crowder was kind of quiet for the first half, kind of came alive a little bit in the second half, and then Josh Doctson's still a very raw product. I do think Kirk Cousins is a better quarterback than Alex Smith, and I do think that's why he put up better numbers with those kind of offensive weapons. But with a lack of a really solidified running game, a banged up offensive line, and really not a true receiver to throw the ball to other than Jordan Reed, who's hurt 90% of the time, I don't think Alex Smith will have much success. So I don't think this was kind of a smart move for Washington. It would have just been smarter to go out and try and re-sign Cousins, or maybe draft the quarterback in this year's upcoming draft. But now moving on for Kirk Cousins, what this means for him, I kind of see there being two really big suitors for Kirk Cousins, and then a third team that's kind of a dark horse. Those two obviously big ones are the Arizona Cardinals and the Denver Broncos. The Cardinals did just lose their starting quarterback Carson Palmer to retirement, and the Broncos just have not really had a strong quarterback. Since they drafted Paxton Lynch with a first-round pick, he didn't pan out. Trevor Siemian has just been really bad, and Brock Osweiler is Brock Osweiler. So looking at the Cardinals, you have a very dynamic running back in David Johnson, one of the greatest receivers of all time in Larry Fitzgerald, two really good outside receivers, kind of fast when he's on the field, John Brown and his not really related, I don't know if they're related, but Jerron Brown. So I think that would be a good fit for Cousins because, you have that balance between really good running game that you can rely on and also that really good solid receiver, Larry Fitzgerald, one of the greatest receivers of all time. And then, of course, you have the Denver Broncos, who I think is the perfect fit for Kirk Cousins simply because, one, he has two elite wide receivers in Demaryius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders. And when I mean elite, I mean true guys that are capable of being wide receiver ones. Then you have, C.J. Anderson when he gets the carries. He's a really good running back. They do not have the greatest offensive line or a solidified tight end. But when you look at that defense and how good that Denver Broncos defense is and how shut down they are and that atmosphere that they play in with the high altitude, I think Kirk Cousins there will be really good. Then, obviously, if they sign Kirk Cousins, they can use that number 5 pick on going out and getting him Quentin Nelson or Connor Williams to protect him and keep him upright. And then, the Cardinals, obviously, they can go out and not have to draft a quarterback with their pick, potentially add another receiver like Cameron Ridley or Courtland Sutton or a true defender. Now, the third team I was talking about was the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think this is the least likely scenario to happen because, one, Jaguars owner, Mr. Chad Khan, I believe is his name, he has come out and said that Blake Bortles is their guy and he does not want to trade them. Blake Bortles did play pretty well in the playoffs, so I don't know what their situation is with them. If they cut him before March 16th, I don't think they have to pay him his 2018 guaranteed money because he just got hurt and had that wrist surgery, so we'll see about that. But I do think Cousins in Jacksonville would be a really good fit. One, because obviously they have an established run game in Leonard Fournette, something he never really had in Washington. And then, of course, that defense is terrifying, and having a good defense will always keep an offense fresh and lead to high-level production. So that's all I have for you guys today. Let me know what you think about this Alex Smith trade, what the major implications it'll have in the NFL down in the comment section below. Thanks again for watching. Drop a like and subscribe.